Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. I will wait for 2 more minutes and I will start the class by 3:05 p.m.
If I
By that,
have to write the attendance again.
yes. You write your attendance once again. Those who have joined the class, please give your attendance in the chat box. Write your class roll number.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, it is around 3:05 p.m. Let us start the class. Let me present my screen first. Can anyone respond whether my screen is visible or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It is visible, right? Okay. Okay. So let me tell you one thing. I think you have read the message in your official WhatsApp group. Just after the class, that is at 4 p.m., there will be a quiz on theory of failures. Time will be from 4 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. and at 4 p.m. the Google form link will be given in that WhatsApp group. Okay, fine.
Sir,
So,
one request, sir.
sorry.
Sir,
Hello.
hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have one question, sir. Sir, could you please extend the time for the quizzes since we have a meeting with HOD, sir, at 4?
From at what time you are having meeting?
Sir, at 4.
At 4. Okay, then I can extend till 5.
Yes, sir, sure, sir.
Okay, fine. Fine. Or else I'll do one thing. I will post the link at 5 p.m. only. Is that
Yes, sir,
will be
that would.
better? Okay, fine. And then I'll post the test link at 5 p.m.
Okay, sir.
So let me give you a brief summary of what we discussed in the last class. Was that we discussed about different types of theory of failure, as well as we have seen what are the formulas associated with different theory of failure. And also we have seen this graph, that means this square box graph is for which theory of failure, this hexagonal graph is for which theory of failure, and this ellipsoid graph is for which theory of failure. Till this much portion we have covered in the last week. So in today's class we will be solving some previous year's problems that has been asked in this theory of failure. Fine. So let us solve the first problem. The first problem is a bolt is subjected to a direct load of 25 kilonewton and a shear load of 15 kilonewton. Yield strength of the material of the bolt is 200 Newton per millimeter square and factor of safety is 2. Considering von Mises theory of failure, find out the minimum size of the bolt. Option A 26.8 mm, option B 38.3 mm, option C 31.8 mm, and option D is 22.3 mm. So after reading the question, what do you think? How can we proceed? How we can proceed for this question? Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can anyone tell me how we can proceed for this question? Bolt is subjected to a direct load of 25 kilonewton. That means direct load is given to me. Direct load is given to me in the question. Now this direct load can be tensile load, can be compressive load. I don't know yet. So let us write that direct load P is equal to 25 kilonewton and shear load is 15 kilonewton. That means let us assume that shear load is denoted by symbol PS. So PS is equal to 15 kilonewton. Yield strength of the material of the bolt is given as 200 Newton per millimeter square. If yield strength is given to me, that means SYT is given to me. That is SYT is how much? 200 Newton per mm square. If I convert this in terms of kilonewton, it will be, I have divided by 1000. So it will become 0.2 kilonewton per mm square. And what is given to me? Factor of safety is 2. Which theory I have to use? I have to use von Mises theory to determine the size of the bolt. Now, before applying the von Mises theory, can anyone tell me that what type of question is this? In this question, whether a single load is acting or in this question a combined load is acting?
Combined load.
This question, in this question, combined load is acting. How I came to know? It is given in the question that one direct load is 25 kilonewton and one shear load is 15 kilonewton. That means the body is subjected to more than one type of loading. Fine. And since direct load is given to me, so this direct load can be tensile, it can be compressive. I don't know. So let us write that the stress generated due to this direct load is how much? That is nothing but P by A. Load by area. Load is given to me, that is 25 divided by area. Area is what? Area of the bolt. That is nothing but bolt is circular in cross section. So it will be pi by 4 into d square. D, I have to find it out. I don't know. So I will solve this expression of sigma in terms of d. that is 25 divided by pi by 4, which comes out to be 31.83 upon d square kilonewton per mm square. Is this step clear? Is the step clear?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes.
Okay, fine. Now, since in the question shear load is also given to me, then due to this shear load, shear stress will also act in the bolt, and that shear stress is again load upon cross sectional area, but this time the load will be shear load that is given in the question, that is 15 kilonewton divided by area. Area will be again pi by 4 into d square. Again, I don't know the value of d, so I will solve this tau in terms of d. That is 15 divided by pi by 4, which comes out to be 19.098 upon d square kilonewton per millimeter square. Okay, I have calculated the value of sigma, I have calculated the value of tau. Next, what I will do? Next, what I will do, if anyone can say. In this question, direct load was given to me. Due to that direct load, how much is the direct stress acting, that I have calculated. In the same question, shear load is also acting. Due to this shear load, shear stress will act. That shear stress also I have calculated. Next, what I will do? Next, what I will do? Next, let us recall the formula of von Mises stress. What is that formula? Von Mises stress, that formula of von Mises stress is nothing but sigma 1. If I talk about 3D, sigma 1 minus sigma 2 whole square plus sigma 2 minus sigma 3 whole square plus sigma 3 minus sigma 1 whole square is equal to 2 times of SYT by factor of safety whole square. Fine. That means in order to solve this problem, I need to get the value of sigma 1, sigma 2 and sigma 3. But I have so far sigma and tau. So how I will calculate sigma 1, sigma 2 and sigma 3? Any idea? How I will calculate sigma 1, sigma 2 and sigma 3? Hello. Hello. Any idea how I will calculate sigma 1, sigma 2 and sigma 3? For that, I have one equation. Which equation? You have studied this expression in strength of material, that if in a body combinedly direct stress, it can be tensile, it can be compressive, and shear stress act, then the principal stresses, if I consider it to be a 2D body, then the principal stresses is given by sigma 1 comma 2. One is the maximum principal stress, second one is the minimum principal stress, that is nothing but equal to sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus minus under root of sigma x minus sigma y by 2 whole square plus tau square. Fine. What is sigma x and sigma y? Sigma x is the principal stress along x axis and sigma y is principal stress along z axis. But in this question, only one stress is acting. Either it will be along x axis or it will be along y axis, because in this question it has been told to you that one direct load is acting. Due to this direct load, one direct stress will act. So let us assume that sigma y is 0 and sigma x is only acting. If that is the case, then I can write this expression as sigma 1 comma sigma 2 is equal to sigma x by 2, because sigma y is 0 plus minus under root of sigma x by 2 whole square plus tau square. Fine. Now sigma x, you know what is sigma x? Sigma x is nothing but this stress generated due to this direct load. And what is tau? Tau is nothing but the shear stress generated due to this shear load of 15 kilonewton. So substitute the value of sigma and tau in this expression, that is sigma 1 comma sigma 2 is equal to sigma x. Sigma x is 31.83 divided by 2d square, because 2 is there, 2d square plus minus under root of 31.83. Sigma x is what? 31.83 divided by 2d square whole square plus tau. Tau is this one, that is 19.098 divided by d square whole square. If you solve this expression, if you take it out from the root, it will become sigma 1 comma sigma 2 equal to 15.91 by d square. That means 31.83 divided by 2. Plus minus, solve this expression and take it out from the root. It will become 24.86 by d square. Now, one is your maximum principal stress. Second one is your minimum principal stress. If you take positive sign, then it will be your maximum principal stress. If you take the negative sign, then it will be your minimum principal stress. So maximum principal stress will be how much? 15.91 by d square plus 24.86 by d square, and minimum stress will be 15.91 by d square minus 24.86 by d square. That is sigma 1 is 40.77 by d square and sigma 2 is minus 8.95 by d square. Now I can use this von Mises equation to find out the value of d. Because von Mises equation is sigma 1 minus sigma 2 whole square plus sigma 2 minus sigma 3 whole square plus sigma 3 minus sigma 1 whole square is equal to 2 times of SYT by factor of safety whole square. Since in the given question only direct load is acting as well as the shear load is acting, that means it is a problem of 2D. If in the same question if bending is also happening, then this question will become a 3D. But now it is not a 3D, so I will assume sigma 3 equal to 0, and in place of sigma 1 I will substitute 40.77 by d square. In place of sigma 2 I will substitute minus 8.95 by d square. Sigma 3 is 0. SYT, I think it is given in the problem, that is 200 Newton per mm square, which is nothing but 0.2 kilonewton per millimeter square. And now if I solve this entire expression, I will get the value of d as 21.43 millimeter. Now let us check which option is suitable for it. So 21.43, that means option D is nearer to my answer of 21.43. So for this problem, the correct option is option D, that is 22.3 mm. Is the question clear? Any doubt in this question?
No, sir.
Fine. So this type of question came in the year 2016, I guess, 2016 or 2015. Same question it came. Fine. Only you have to, what is the concept of this problem? Concept of this problem is, in this question it is no single load is acting. It is a question of combined load. Accordingly, you will find out what is sigma, find out what is tau, then you have to use the expression for combined loading. You will get the value of minimum and maximum principal stress. Then whatever theory is asking in this question, you have to find out the size of the bolt on the basis of von Mises theory. So you used von Mises theory. In some other question, they may ask you about use principal stress theory. Then you have to use the principal stress theory. In the same question, they may ask you about the shear stress theory. Then you will use the shear stress theory to solve the given problem. Only at this particular point, the problem will change. Formula will change from different theory to different theory. Is it clear? This question number 1 is clear to all of you?
Yes, sir. Clear.
कोई डाउट है किसी को? हेलो,
नहीं सर, डाउट नहीं है सर.
okay, fine. Let us solve second question. This question came in 2017 and it was a numerical answer type question. That means you have to write the answer. See, in these type of questions, answer will be in some range. That means, say your answer is varying from 1.7 to 1.8. In between 1.7 to 1.8, if you write 1.71, 1.72, 1.74, you will get the marks. इसका एक रेंज होता है, इस टाइप के प्रॉब्लम का एक रेंज होता है. वो लोग गेट वाले लोग देते हैं रेंज, दैट इज 1.8 से लेके 1.9 के बीच आपका आंसर वेरी करेगा. इसके बीच अगर आपका आंसर आता है, आप कोई भी वैल्यू आपका आ रहा है, आप इसमें लिखेंगे तो आपको मार्क्स मिलेगा. फाइन, लेट अस सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन. A shaft is subjected to pure torsional moment. The maximum shear stress developed in the shaft is 100 megapascal. Yield and the ultimate strength of the shaft material in tension are 300 megapascal and 450 megapascal. Factor of safety using distortion energy theory, that is von Mises theory, is how much? So in this question, by using distortion energy theory, you have to find out factor of safety. How you will proceed? What is given in the question and how you will proceed for this question? How to proceed? Try, at least try. Then I will solve the problem. First try. How, what is given in the problem and how to proceed for the and how to proceed this problem.
तो क्वेश्चन में तो मैक्सिमम शेयर स्ट्रेस दिया हुआ है.
In question, the yield and ultimate strength. Yes, maximum shear stress is given in the question. That is 100 megapascal. Tau max is given. Okay. What else? What else? What else is given? If you see, yield strength is also given in the problem. See the yield and the ultimate strength. That means SYT is 300
SYT and SUT is
megapascal
given.
and SUT is 450 megapascal. SYT is also given. SUT is also given. Fine. So that means this question is a trick. Because in this question, SYT is also given to you and SUT is also given to you. You don't know whether the material is failing in whether the material which you are using for this problem is brittle material or ductile material. Do you know which material is this? Because in this question, both yield and ultimate strength is given to you. I don't know it is which kind of material, ductile or brittle. Fine, but I know that distortion energy theory gives result in ductile material. They don't give any kind of result in brittle material. So that's why the SUT, what is given to me in the question, that is only for bluff purpose. Only for making you bluff, they have given you SUT equal to 450 megapascal. I have no use of SUT in this problem. Why? Because from the last line I understood that in distortion energy theory gives result for ductile material. They don't give any kind of result for brittle material. Is the concept clear that I will not use SUT? I will only use SYT. Hello?
Yes, sir. Distortion energy is only for the ductile material.
Fine. Now, one more thing is given in the problem. Can you read the question and tell me what is given in the problem? I am giving you hint. Read the first line of the problem. From that first line, again, you can, some value is given to you. What is that value? In the question, the first line tells you that shaft is subjected to pure torsional moment. That means what? Shaft is subjected to pure torsional moment. That means what? Because if you use the distortion energy theory of failure, you know the formula of distortion energy theory is, wait. Yes, you know that formula for distortion energy theory is sigma 1 minus sigma 2 whole square plus sigma 2 that is sigma 2 minus sigma 3 whole square plus sigma 3 minus sigma 1 whole square, which is equal to 2 times of SYT by factor of safety whole square. This equation you have to use to find out the value of FOS. In the question, it has been to given SYT is given to you and tau maximum is given to you. And the first line of question tells you that the body is under pure torsion. That means what? That means if tau max is given to me, I know that tau max is nothing but sigma max minus sigma mean, sigma max minus sigma mean by 2. Now, if I am taking xy plane, sigma max, this will be sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2. If it is yz plane, then this will be sigma 2 minus sigma 3 by 2. If it is zx plane, it will be sigma 3 minus sigma 1 by 2. Fine. Let us assume that the body is kept in xy plane. That means it will be sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2. And in the question only SYT is given to me and tau max is given to me. I cannot solve this question. I cannot solve this question because I don't know what is sigma 1, I don't know what is sigma 2. I cannot proceed for this question. But I can proceed. How I can proceed? If you read the first line of the problem. First line of the problem tells you that the object is subjected to pure torsion. That means what? That means what? When any body is subjected to pure torsion, then in that body stress reversal takes place. That means if in this body sigma 2, value of sigma 2 will be exactly equal to sigma 1 but in opposite direction. This is the meaning of pure torsion. It has been told to you in the question that a shaft is subjected to pure torsional moment. This is the meaning of pure torsional moment. This is the meaning of pure torsional moment. In pure torsional moment, stress reversals takes place. That means if one stress is positive, second stress will be negative, but magnitude will be same. So tau max is given to me. Tau max is how much? Tau max is 100 megapascal. So 100 is equal to, if it is a sigma, that means sigma 1 minus sigma max minus sigma mean, sigma 2. Sigma 2 is nothing but minus sigma 1, minus minus it will be plus sigma 1 plus sigma 1 by 2. That means sigma 1 plus sigma 1. That means 2 sigma 1 is 100. That means 2 sigma 1. Sorry, 2 into 200. Sorry. Sigma 1 is equal to. See, 2 sigma 1 is equal to 200. And sigma 1 will be equal to 200 by 2. That is 100. Yes or no? If sigma is 100, then sigma 2 will be minus 100. That is the meaning of pure torsion. If sigma 1 is plus 100, then sigma 2 is minus 100. That is the meaning of pure torsion. Now I can solve the problem because it is sigma. Now I can solve the problem. So sigma 1 is 100, sigma 2 is minus 100, sigma 3 is 0. You substitute the value of sigma 1, sigma 2 and sigma 3, which is nothing but 0, in the equation of von Mises stress. That is half into sigma 1 is what? 100 minus of sigma 2 is minus 100 whole square plus sigma 2 is minus 100 minus sigma 3 is 0. So minus 100 square plus sigma 3 is 0 minus sigma 1, that is minus 100 whole square, equal to SYT. What is SYT? SYT is 300 megapascal. 300 by factor of safety whole square. Now if you solve this expression, then you will get the value of factor of safety as 1.732. So what GATE will do is that GATE in these type of questions, in these numerical ability type of questions, GATE will give the range. Means that range is 1.7 to 1.8. If your answer is coming out to be 1.734, you will get the marks. If your answer is coming out to be 1.736, again you will get the marks. But if your answer is coming out to be 1.801, you will not get the marks. Is the question clear? This question number 2. Any doubt in
Yes, sir.
this question?
Clear.
बाकी लोग को डाउट है कुछ इस क्वेश्चन में? Hello.
No, sir.
Fine. Okay. So in this question,
तो ये एनईटी क्वेश्चन में रेंज दे देते हैं ना वो लोग?
they will not give the range. They will not give the range. वो रेंज वो लोग अपने पास ही रखेंगे. ठीक है. बाद में जब ये लोग आंसर की निकालेंगे, then they will give that for this question range is from 1.5 to 1.6. अब जिसका आंसर 1.5 से 1.6 के बीच में आ रहा है, उसका आंसर उसको मार्क्स मिलेगा. जिसका आंसर उस रेंज में नहीं आ रहा है, उसको मार्क्स नहीं मिलेगा. 0 उसको माइनस नेगेटिव मार्किंग हो जाएगा. If he has attempted. Understood? So the main concept of this question is this first line, that the shaft is subjected to pure torsional moment. In any case, whether it is a shaft or it is a beam, when pure torsion is acting, in case of pure torsion means there will be a reversal of stress. That means if one stress is positive in one direction, then the second stress will be negative and magnitude will be same. That means sigma 1 is equal to minus times of sigma 2, or sigma 2 is equal to minus times of sigma 1. That is the main concept of this question. Remaining there is nothing in this question. Clear है? किसी को कोई डाउट है इस क्वेश्चन में? Hello.
Clear है sir, clear.
Fine. Okay. Now let us solve the third question. This question recently came in GATE. I think this question came in 2018. This question came in 2018. Fine. So I will give you 5 minutes time. You just try and let me know that how far you have did. Fine. Question is, the principal stresses at a point inside a solid object are sigma 1 is 100 megapascal, sigma 2 is 100 megapascal, sigma 3 is 0 megapascal. That means it is a 2D body. Factor of safety calculated using Tresca's theory, which is what is Tresca's theory? कौन सा theory होता है Tresca theory? I told you in the last class, Tresca theory is also known as which theory? Hello.
Maximum shear stress theory.
Yes, Tresca's theory is known as maximum shear stress theory. So calculated using Tresca's theory is NT. That means first, with the help of these data, by using Tresca's theory, factor of safety calculated was NT. And then by using von Mises theory of failure, factor of safety calculated was NV. Which of the following relation is true? Given SYT is 200 megapascal, that means NT is equal to root 3 by 2 times of NV, NT is equal to root 3 times of NV, NT is equal to NV, and last option is NV is equal to root 3 times of NT. Is the question clear? Again, I am telling the question. In the question, what is given to you? Sigma 1 is given to you, sigma 2 is given to you, and sigma 3 is given to you. Two theories have been used to calculate the value of factor of safety. First theory was Tresca's theory. From that theory, factor of safety calculated was NT. Then I used von Mises theory. From the von Mises theory, factor of safety calculated was NV. Now you have to tell what is the relationship between NT and NV. That is, NT is equal to root 3 by 2 times of NV, or NT is equal to root 3 times of NV, or NT is equal to NV, and the last option is NV is equal to root 3 times of NT. इज द क्वेश्चन क्लियर? क्या क्वेश्चन क्लियर है? किसी को कोई डाउट है किसी को इस क्वेश्चन में? क्वेश्चन समझ में नहीं आया?
जी सर।
हेलो,
जी सर, ठीक है।
क्लियर है ना? ठीक है, आई एम गिविंग यू 5 minutes टाइम, नाउ यू ट्राई फ्रॉम योर ओन एंड प्लीज लेट मी नो हाउ फार you have succeeded. This question they have asked it in 2018, what I guess. तो आप इसको सोचो कैसे सॉल्व करोगे, सॉल्व करो, फिर मुझे बताओ कि क्या आंसर आ रहा है आपका, या तरीका क्या है सॉल्व करने का. आई एम गिविंग यू 5 minutes टाइम. सॉल्व हुआ? हेलो, हेलो,
हाँ सर।
हुआ? कुछ पहुंचा? कहां तक, कहां तक पहुंचे?
सर वही मतलब इसका थ्योरी लगा के अगर हम लोग
क्वेश्चन में दिया हुआ है सिग्मा 1, सिग्मा 2
ये
एंड
दिया
सिग्मा 3. जब ट्रेस्का थ्योरी अप्लाई किया गया उससे जो फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी निकला दैट इज एनटी, और जब वॉन माइनस थ्योरी अप्लाई किया गया उससे जो फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी निकला दैट इज एनवी. यू हैव टू फाइंड द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन एनटी एंड एनवी. सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, थोड़ा दिमाग लगाओ. फॉर्मूला एकदम फॉर्मूला बेस्ड क्वेश्चन ही है, बस थोड़ा दिमाग लगाना पड़ेगा. कौन सा ऑप्शन आ रहा है? ऑप्शन ए, बी, सी या डी? हेलो, आया कुछ कि मैं करूं सॉल्व?
सर आप कर दीजिए।
अच्छा, उद्देश्य
एक बार फिर से दिखाइए तो क्वेश्चन।
क्वेश्चन दिखा
सर मैंने
देता हूँ.
ट्राई किया लेकिन एक
हाँ,
बार।
क्वेश्चन बोल रहा है दैट सिग्मा 1 is given to you, sigma 2 is given to you and sigma 3 is given to you. You have to, and they have used two theory of failure. First theory was Tresca's theory of failure. From Tresca theory of failure, value of factor of safety comes out to be NT. By using von Mises theory of failure, value of factor of safety comes out to be NV. You have to find out relationship between NT and NV. Okay, Uddesh, I am giving you 2 more minutes time. You try and then let me know. Then I'll solve at 3:42 p.m. Then I'll solve this problem. Try, because if you won't think, if you won't try, then it is not necessary that in gate all the question whatever you have done in the class that same type of question you will get. No, some new type of question also you can get. So you have to think. हुआ उद्देश्य सॉल्व, मैं करूँ सॉल्व?
आप ही कर दीजिए।
ओके ओके ओके।
मैंने किया था लेकिन अभी भूल गया। ऑप्शन मुझे लगता है 3 वाला हो सकता है।
ऑप्शन कौन सा हो सकता है?
3 वाला।
NT इज इक्वल्स टू NV हो सकता है।
NT इक्वल टू NV ही होगा। इसका करेक्ट आंसर NT इक्वल टू NV ही है। कैसे किया NT इक्वल टू NV?
सर
अच्छा ठीक है, देख ले, मैं यहाँ पे सॉल्व कर रहा हूँ, प्रोसेस मैच हो रहा है कि नहीं। मतलब प्रोसेस अलग हो सकता है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, मतलब कॉन्सेप्ट पकड़ना पड़ेगा, कॉन्सेप्ट मैच हो कर रहा है कि मतलब सेम तरीके से सॉल्व कर रहे हो कि नहीं। ठीक है, अच्छा, व्हाट इज गिवन इन द प्रॉब्लम? सिग्मा 1 इज 100 मेगापास्कल, sigma 2 is 100 megapascal, sigma 3 is 0 megapascal. Fine. Now if I use Tresca theory of failure, Tresca theory क्या बोलता है? That maximum shear stress tau max, that is how much? That is, if I take xy plane, that will be sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2. If I take yz plane, it will be 2 minus 3 by 2. If I take zx plane, it will be 3 minus 1 by 2. Clear? Hello?
यस सर।
Fine, that will be equal to whether 1 minus 2 by 2 or 2 minus 3 by 2 or 3 minus 1 by 2, that will be equal to maximum shear stress in tension test. That means that is equal to SSY by factor of safety. SSY is what? Yield strength in shear, and I also know that SSY is nothing but half times of SYT. So because SSY is not given in the problem, SYT is given to me, so I have to use that relation, that SSY is nothing but SYT by 2 into factor of safety. Now this 2 get cancel out, so my resulting equation becomes sigma 1 minus sigma 2 is equal to SYT divided by NT. Fine. But I will not use this equation. Why? Because see, sigma 1 is how much? Sigma 1 is 100. Sigma 2 is 100. That means this quantity is 0. If this quantity is 0, your NT will be undefined. होगा कि नहीं होगा?
वो अनडिफाइंड हो जाएगा। 200
NT
डिवाइडेड बाय
undefined हो
0
जाएगा। तो इसका मतलब मैंने जो पहला कॉम्बिनेशन लिया था, दैट इज x माइनस वाई बाई टू, ये मेरा गलत कॉम्बिनेशन हो गया। अब मैं जाऊंगा y माइनस जेड बाई टू की तरफ, दैट इज सिग्मा 2 माइनस सिग्मा 3 बाई 2 इक्वल टू एस एस वाई बाई फैक्टर ऑफ सेफ्टी। उसमें देखूंगा उसमें मेरा अनडिफाइंड आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है। अगर अनडिफाइंड आ रहा है तो तीसरे वाले में जाऊंगा। आ रहा है समझ में? हेलो
हाँ सर, समझ में आ रहा है, समझ में आ रहा है।
कृषाणु, समझ में आ रहा है?
हाँ सर।
Fine, ठीक है। So that's why I will not choose this sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2. Next option is what? Next option is sigma 2 minus sigma 3 is nothing but equal to SSY by factor of safety. That is sigma 2 minus sigma 3 is equal to SSY is what? SYT by 2 into factor of safety. Again this 2 cancel, so it becomes sigma 2 minus sigma 3 is equal to SYT by factor of safety, and that is nothing but NT in case of maximum shear stress theory. अब आप मुझे बोलो, अब क्या ये इक्वेशन यूज करने के बाद क्या NT मेरा अनडिफाइंड होगा?
नो
सर
सर।
इसमें अनडिफाइंड नहीं
नहीं
हो
होगा। क्यों नहीं होगा? बिकॉज सिग्मा 3 इज 0, sigma 2 is 100, so 100 minus 0 is equal to SYT. SYT given is 200 megapascal, so 200 divided by NT, so NT comes out to be 2. NT is equal to 2. That means value of factor of safety using maximum shear stress theory is nothing but 2. Is it clear?
सर, क्लियर क्लियर।
Fine. Now what else it is told in the problem, that when you use the same equations and if you use von Mises theory, then your factor of safety is NV. So let us recall the formula for von Mises theory first. That formula is nothing but half times of sigma 1 minus sigma 2 whole square plus sigma 2 minus sigma 3 whole square plus sigma 3 minus sigma 1 whole square is equal to SYT by factor of safety whole square. Now in this expression, sigma 1 is 100, sigma 2 is 100, sigma 3 is 0, SYT is 200, and factor of safety is nothing but NV. Let us substitute, that is half. sigma 1 100 minus sigma 2 100, that is 0, plus sigma 2 is 100 minus 0 square, that is 100 square, plus sigma 3 is 0 minus sigma 1 is 100, that means minus 100 square, that means 100 square plus 100 square is equal to 200 by nv whole square. Fine. Now, if you solve this expression, you will get the value of NV is equal to 2. That means NT is also 2, NV is also 2. That means which option is correct? Option C. NT is equal to NV. आया समझ में? हेलो.
हाँ
हाँ
सर.
सर.
ठीक है, तो मैं इसीलिए बार बार बोल रहा हूँ कि आपको एवरी डे एटलीस्ट एवरी डे 20 से 25 सवाल लगाने पड़ेंगे. आप टॉपिक उठा लो, उठा के आप एवरी डे 20 से 25 से एटलीस्ट 50 सवाल तो लगाने पड़ेंगे हर चैप्टर से. जिस टाइप का क्वेश्चन गेट में आता है उस टाइप का क्वेश्चन आपको लगाने पड़ेंगे, नहीं तो आप भूल जाओगे. आपको याद मेन है कि पहली बात तो आप फॉर्मूला भूल जाओगे, फॉर्मूला याद नहीं रहेगा, उसके बाद ट्रिक भूल जाओगे. तो यहाँ पे जैसे ट्रिक था, क्या ट्रिक था? अगर मैं सिग्मा 1 माइनस सिग्मा 2 बाई 2 करूंगा तो यहाँ पे एंटिटी अनडिफाइंड रहेगा. अगर आप प्रैक्टिस में नहीं हो, अगर आप मान लो 2 महीने के बाद खोल रहे हो, ये सवाल आपसे नहीं बनेगा, क्योंकि आप सोचोगे कि अरे सिग्मा यहाँ पे सिग्मा 1 भी 100 है, सिग्मा 2 भी 100 है, 100 माइनस 100 0, 0 इंटू एनटी, एनटी इज नॉट डिफाइंड, बस वहां पे आप बैठ जाओगे. लेकिन अगर आप रेगुलरली अगर आप प्रैक्टिस करते रहोगे तो फिर यहाँ पे आप फंसोगे नहीं, एग्जाम में भी यहाँ पे जाके फंसोगे. कोई आदमी यहाँ पे सोचेगा नहीं कि ऐसा भी हो सकता है, ये भी हो सकता है. आ रहा है बात समझ में?
हाँ सर. हाँ सर.
ठीक है. सो दीज आर सम प्रॉब्लम्स which normally comes in GATE in theory of failure topic. Fine. You practice more and more amount of problems. If you are facing any difficulty in solving the problems of theory of failure, you can contact me. Fine. Okay. So let us move forward. Let us move forward to our next topic. That is, next topic is design of component against फ्लक्चुएटिंग लोड और वेरिएबल लोड. तो सबसे पहले तो मुझे ये डिफाइन करना पड़ेगा कि फ्लक्चुएटिंग लोड होता क्या है, उसके बाद फिर डिजाइन कैसे करते हैं फ्लक्चुएटिंग लोड का, वो बाद में आएगा. तो एनी वन ऑफ यू कैन डिफाइन मी व्हाट इज फ्लक्चुएटिंग लोड और वेरिएबल लोड?
Variation of load with respect to time.
Yes, when the magnitude of load varies with respect to time, that means say at time t equal to 1 second load was 50 Newton, at time t equal to 4 second load is 54 Newton, at time t equal to 8 second load is 58 Newton. That means there is a certain range of load starting from 50 Newton to 100 Newton. If the load variations takes place at each and every instant of time, then that type of load is known as fluctuating load. Also remember one thing, fluctuating load always act in a working machine. When the machine is static in nature, at that time fluctuating load does not act on the machine. When the machine is in working condition, at that time only fluctuating load will act, and due to that fluctuating load, fluctuating stresses will generate, and due to this fluctuating stresses, body will undergo fatigue. Because when the body is in working condition, repeated nature of cyclic stresses results in fatigue failure of the body. आया समझ में ये कॉन्सेप्ट फ्लक्चुएटिंग लोड का? क्या होता है फ्लक्चुएटिंग लोड, क्या होता है फ्लक्चुएटिंग स्ट्रेस, क्या होता है फटीग? फाइन. ओके.
मतलब सर साइकिल के टाइम के रेस्पेक्ट में मतलब चेंज होगा लोड, एक बार
टाइम
50
के
एक बार
रेस्पेक्ट में लोड विल चेंज, बट लोड का जो पैटर्न है वो साइनोसॉइडल पैटर्न भी हो सकता है, वो कोसाइन पैटर्न भी हो सकता है, वो कोसेक पैटर्न भी हो सकता है, वो सेक पैटर्न भी हो सकता है, बट ये है कि टाइम के साथ साथ चेंज करेगा. आया समझ में?
हाँ सर.
हेलो.
हाँ सर.
फाइन. ओके.
और वो फैटिग की तरह फेल होगा.
Yes. Always remember, whenever a body is subjected to fluctuating load, it will fail only and only by fatigue failure. Fine. Okay. Next is, let us discuss some typical type of mathematical models for different types of cyclic stresses. How many types of cyclic stresses are there? First one is your fluctuating stress or alternating stress. What is happening here is that you will be given a maximum and minimum limit of stress. Say maximum limit is 500 Newton, minimum limit is 150 Newton. In between 150 to 500, your stress will vary. It can vary in sine manner, it can vary in cosine manner, it can vary in cosec manner. If you see this diagram clearly tells you that this is an example of fluctuating stress, because this dash 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 line is nothing but the mean line. Part above the mean line, fine, from the x-axis to the topmost part is nothing but sigma maximum. From the x-axis to the bottommost part of the curve is your sigma minimum, and this dash dash line is what? From the x-axis, if you measure along y, this length is nothing but sigma m, that is mean stress. And the peak attained by any loading curve in stress versus time diagram, that peak is known as amplitude. That means in this graph there are total 1 2 3 4 4 amplitudes are there. Two is above the mean line, 2 is below the mean line. So I have to remember these formulas, that is formulas of calculating mean stress and formulas of calculating alternating stress if I want to solve the problems of fatigue failure. That is, mean stress is how much? Mean stress is half of sigma max plus sigma mean. This is the mean line. This mean line will be half times of sigma max plus sigma mean. And what is alternating stress? It is denoted by symbol sigma a, and this is nothing but equal to half times of sigma max minus sigma minimum. That is alternating stress sigma a. That means this much part, this much length, and this much length. You also need to remember one term called stress ratio. Sometimes they will ask you in the gate that sigma max is this much and sigma minimum is this much in a and the body is subjected to fatigue failure. What is the value of stress ratio? Four options will be given to you. You should know that thing. That stress ratio denoted by symbol R. It is nothing but the ratio of minimum stress to maximum stress. And if I see the diagram, minimum stress is nothing minimum stress is nothing but sigma a, and maximum stress is nothing but sigma m if sigma max is 0. Fine. These are, and this sigma a by sigma m is also known as amplitude ratio. That is, stress ratio is how much? Stress ratio R is equal to sigma mean divided by sigma max, and amplitude ratio is nothing but it is the ratio of sigma a divided by sigma m. Again, these equations are very much important to solve the problems of fatigue. Is it clear? कोई doubt है यहाँ तक?
नहीं सर, क्लियर है.
Okay, fine. Next is repeated stress. क्या मुझे बोल सकते हो आप डायग्राम देख के कि रिपीटेड स्ट्रेस में कौन सा क्वांटिटी जीरो है? डायग्राम देख के क्या कोई मुझे बोल सकता है कि कौन सा क्वांटिटी जीरो है? मैक्सिमम जीरो है, मिनिमम जीरो है, या मीन जीरो है?
So minimum.
Minimum is 0. Yes, see the difference. This is minimum. Now this point has came over here, is lying on the x-axis. This is that curve pattern. Fine, see, shifted down. So minimum is 0. That means if you want to calculate the mean stress, sigma mean is half of sigma max plus sigma minimum. Sigma minimum is 0. That means sigma max is nothing but 2 times of sigma mean. Sigma max is nothing but 2 times of sigma mean. Similarly, what is sigma a? Amplitude stress, half of sigma max minus sigma mean. Sigma mean is 0. So sigma max is 2 times of sigma a. See, sigma max is 2 times of sigma. That means from x-axis, if I go towards y-axis, this is nothing but sigma max, and this sigma max is how much? Sigma a plus sigma a. It is matching with the formula. and sigma minimum is 0. Sigma minimum is 0. So sigma max is nothing but 2 times of sigma m. Let us see. See, this is also sigma m. That means 2 times, means from here to here is sigma max, and from here to here, sorry, from here to here is sigma max, and this value is, this much length is exactly equal to this much length. So sigma m is 2 times of sigma max. Is it clear? Repeated stress. The third one is your reversed stress. Now, can you see? Can you tell me from the diagram which quantity is 0 in reversed stress?
Mean. So sigma mean.
Sigma mean is 0 because this mean line is coinciding with the x-axis line. That means sigma mean is 0. If sigma mean is 0, let us go back to the formula. Sigma mean 0. That means sigma max will be equal to sigma mean but in negative direction. That means sigma max is equal to minus sigma mean, or sigma mean is equal to minus sigma max. That means one value will be positive, another value will be negative. Fine. That means this is my x-axis line. From this x-axis, this is the maximum peak. That is nothing but sigma max. From this x-axis, this is the negative maximum peak, nothing but sigma minimum, and this is only nothing, this peak is nothing but sigma amplitude in positive direction, that is the same peak, that is sigma amplitude in negative direction also. Is it clear the difference between fluctuating stress,
Yes, sir.
repeated stress and reverse stress? Fine. Sometimes what they will do is that they will draw these diagrams and they will tell you to match the following. Then you should know which one is fluctuating stress, which one is repeated stress, which one is reversed stress. क्या कोई डाउट है किसी को?
नहीं सर.
Fine. Okay, so I don't think enough time is there. It's around 3:59 p.m. So what I will do is that I will stop the today's class over here only, and again we will meet next week and we will try to complete the fatigue portion. Fatigue portion, that is Goodman line, Gerber line, then your stress concentration factor and all those things in the next class, and then next class we will solve the problems of stress concentration, fatigue failure, etc. With this we will complete this fatigue portion. Clear?
Yes sir, clear.
Okay, so since Jadvinder has requested me that to post the test link at 5 p.m. so I will post that Google form test link at 5 p.m. That link will be active till 5:30 p.m. Half an hour timing is given to you. Topic of the test is theory of failure. Whatever we have discussed today, those things. Clear?
Yes sir, thank you.
Fine. Okay. Thank you. Then I am calling off this meeting. Again, we will meet tomorrow at 1 p.m. for the finite element method class. Thank you.
Thank you sir.
Hmm.